took me a really long time to realize that hearing and listening aren't the same thing. But now I know that being deaf has helped me to become a better communicator. My name is Ross and I'm a video producer and director. Ever since I was young, I've just loved asking questions and figuring out how things work. I studied chemistry at university, and whilst I loved experimenting and problem solving in the lab, my passion was actually in combining my curiosity with my creativity. After graduating, I studied radio production and journalism. I then ended up working as a presenter for my local science center and hosted planetarium and theater shows. I started making science videos on YouTube, and I haven't stopped making content online for the last 14 years. I worked as a video producer for a couple of educational charities, but now I run my own production studio that helps people learn through visual storytelling. So my job involves lots of different communication skills, from writing and filming to editing, directing and presenting, and I get to collaborate with lots of talented creative people as well. But I wouldn't do any of what I do now if I hadn't have lost my hearing as a child. I'm missing my left middle ear, and that's the eardrum and those three little bones inside. So in school, I couldn't always hear the teacher very well. And so I just had to develop this skill of learning and understanding things in a visual way. And later, when I was working in radio and theater, and when I stood on stage, it felt like for the first time that I really had a voice and that I could be heard by other people. A couple of years ago, I was lucky enough to receive a bone-anchored hearing aid. This technology allows me to hear through this magnetic processor, which attaches to a titanium implant embedded in my skull. Now, the implant literally just vibrates the bones in my head, which conducts the sound to my cochlea, and that sends a signal to my brain, which I hear as sound. I think that being curious is one of the key elements that makes us human. But our universe of science and physics and maths and data, on its own, it's just information. But if you combine that with human creativity, art and music and poetry and filmmaking, well, that becomes the universe telling a story.